Welcome, jewelers. Welcome all to another episode of Fried Chicken and Pigskins, baby. Episode 3 here. It's a big day, boys. NFL is back. Esports is live. DeFi Kingdoms PvP is just a few weeks away. Oh my, we are in for a treat. I'm going to get your guys' feelings here real quick. T, how are you doing on this fine evening?
Man, I'm fired up. I was going through all my fantasy teams, trying to get them all lined up, ready to go. I can't wait for this kickoff. I can't wait to talk some football and a little, PvP, DeFi Kingdoms talk too. So let's get into it.
Let's go. Let's go. Trade. Amazing to have you here today on this beautiful night. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. Crypto is in the heat of everything. NFL is launching. I mean, what more can you ask for, right? DeFi, crypto, and NFL. Let's freaking go.
Let's go, indeed. And we're going to kick it off with a new segment here today. We're going to kind of structure these episodes a little better for the fans back home to get a feel for the fried chicken and pigskins vibe. Again, this is NFL kickoff, the first day, first game of regular season. Kansas City Chiefs, baby, at home against the Baltimore Ravens. We have DeFi Kingdoms PvP coming very soon, and we're going to kick it off here with a very, very special segment brought to you here by the Jewelers. And it's going to be called DeFi 15. Let's go. There you have it. So the first 15 minutes minimum of every episode of these fried chicken and pigskins episode is going to be getting into the crypto gaming esports landscape. Of course, we're the Jewelers Crypto, baby, so we always got to work it in. And starting here, of course, with our favorite DeFi Kingdoms, we have the announcement that PvP is just how many weeks away, boys? Just 2 weeks away, at least a playtest weekend for us to get our hands on it with the whole entire community. We got our hands on it a few weekends back, and this is just going to be absolutely insane, exciting. All the words above. How are you boys feeling? We'll start you, Trade. What's the vibes here?
Yeah, so I didn't really get a chance to catch the actual AMA. So this is breaking news to me. So let me get this straight. There's an announcement that PvP 2 weeks. Don't gas me up here. Don't. This is not
Good.
speculation time. You know what I'm saying?
Another play test weekend.
Another play test.
Right.
Okay.
With everybody though.
With
Everybody.
Okay.
Open community,
Okay.
whole community.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's open season. I love it. I know there was some strong opinions about getting started with the streamers, but I love that play. Beautiful play. Love the moves the team is making right now, and now to open it up, right, where we've gotten a chance to see people streaming and showcasing. Now those who may not want to be in the limelight, but maybe aiming for that top 10, top 15,
Mm-hmm.
in PvP, get a chance to step to the plate.
Yes, sir. That's going to be a lot of fun because there is a lot of monster heroes out there that, again, we got access to via the catalog. I don't know the structure of this. I don't know if you have to use your own heroes. I don't know yet, but we will see. I'm guessing we'll still be able to use the catalog, and they'll just kind of let people experiment. Much more matches. They're kind of testing the server side, trying to make sure they can handle all those hunts going at once or the input, output, whatever it may be. T, how are you feeling overall with this PvP weekend coming up?
Dude, I'm excited that it's going to be opened up for everybody. I mean, I got to play a little bit a couple weekends ago, but I think I got in 5 total matches, so not that many. I definitely would love to get a bunch more in. It's going to be much more possible. I mean, so yeah, that was a great alpha drop. Bolon dragged it out as long as he could during the AMA, but it was the very end thing that they said. And that's just gonna be a lot of fun, man. I'm really looking forward to playing. I already been talking to some of the guys. I know me and Jeremy have talked about like getting our hands on it and just trying different strategies and going at it for a couple hours head to head. So excited, man. Excited.
Yes, sir. Test the waters, test the strats. Me and Trade put up a good bit of matches, which I'm hoping I got a few recorded. And there will be more clips coming from those if you haven't seen already. Our shorts game, our TikTok game is on full tilt here. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We also, of course, have traits live for everyone, for hunts,
yes,
for boars and box, which is a lot of fun. We're going to be getting into a few clips here, actually. The community highlights, like we ideally would like to do each and every week here during this segment. One of the first ones here comes from Jeweler FFF1, a legend, a dog. And
right.
He's got a pretty interesting hunt here, T. T, you've seen it. Do you want to take the wheel here? How do we want to run
Man,
it?
this is just a pretty quick hunt. He wins in 14 turns against the box, and not to spoil anything, but this one's going to go quick. And yeah, it's just, Archer's just hitting. You'll see. It'll be over quick here. But exactly how you want to do them, right? Get in and out. Keep it moving.
Most definitely. Warcry comes in, which is crazy because that's not even an attack move. And we're going to get him in 14 turns. Another crit. This is going to be insane.
Right. And it's the multi-shots that would hit just rampant.
Got the crit and the daze.
Right. Double crit on the rapid shot.
A cheeky taunt.
Sick.
Everybody's dying.
Yep.
Now you see how he can just finish it off with a few big boy shots.
Repeating.
Yep.
Repeating.
We saw the meta shift crazily to repeating shot. And that was quick. That was damn
over.
quick. That was quick.
It's over.
14 turns. And,
yeah, that's super neat, right? And I guess for me, the insight that I can give with traits being active for the hunt is there's a dilemma between, hey, do I activate my combo right away, or is there a way for me to utilize my traits to leverage my combos? And it's interesting. I was going through it. I haven't been able to do a lot of hunts, but I went in and I was like, hey, let me start with Poison Blade. And with like a 12-14 stack, by the time it came due where I normally have to use an Archer to finish off the big box, Poison Blade took care of it. I took care of the 2 box and it was over in about 18 turns,
Right.
So yeah, it's interesting to see the dilemma now with the strategy you may have had before and the adjustments you make now that you have the traits, because you can say it's easy, but you have to figure out that combination for yourself.
Right.
And I love how it's kind of shaping the metas are molding already. Even the build metas. What's the most effective Archer builds? Is one small stone really a tier below repeating shot? And a lot of people felt that way with the first PvP weekend. We'll see if more people in the play environment, in the next 2 weeks when we do get that community-wide play test, we'll see if that many more players creates any different dynamics. Or I'm guessing maybe they'll have different balance changes as well jumping into it. We'll have to see. But, just to name a few, like the channel on Barrage, it was huge. The one small stone change from always hitting 2 enemies to now you have to proc it. Like that stuff is pretty interesting and, largely changes the meta. So huge shout out to FFFF1 for that wonderful hunt. And, on the traits topic as well, it gives you an extra basic tag for free. Like, a lot of these heroes don't have 100 damage, depending on what traits you have. But actives, they don't have 100 damage hits, just off the back end. So this gives you an advanced basic attack, once a game, maybe twice a game. But I love to see it. I love the dynamic it's built. So
yeah, for sure. And while we're talking about the community, shout out to the chat right now. Sticks intern in the building, aka Mr. No Sleep. And then we have Emerson in the building as well. And he says he's here for the fried chicken. Emerson, stay tuned. The fried chicken is coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we just fried a little bit of chicken right there
Right.
with the box kill. I mean, FF,
Right.
he's dog in the box.
Oh, we fried already. Yeah, we
Right,
fried
that
already.
was
I guess,
cooking.
I
Man. That
guess
was
you could
cooking.
say we're fine. All right, so let's see. Next one is pulled up here by the legend
This one's a
himself,
little bit
Jettles.
longer, but it's a little Seer showcase, and honestly, not the cleanest playthrough. There was some mistakes, but some lucky stuff. It's kind of fun. I don't want to spoil it too much.
The Sears showcase is very exciting. I've enjoyed using them for bot hunts. I saw you dark summon like crazy leading up to this, so
I
let's
couldn't
see.
get anything good. This wasn't me. This is who? K Jettles.
Yep,
Is it
Jettles.
Oh,
Jettles?
word? Okay.
Yeah. So again, if you want to be featured, we're going to be picking some hunts that are posted on the combat replay in our Discord. So if you got any good ones, share them over there, and we'll throw them on the stream.
Yes, sir. Give a little description of what the hunt entails. We'll check it out. We try to watch them all. Definitely can at this moment.
Right. So this one, you also get a little taste of some traits coming into play here. A little bit of poison plays into it. Light foreshadowing there for y'all. But there's definitely one move I saw where I was like, oh, don't do that here. And it worked out because of a lucky miss. Sometimes in this game.
Which move was that? So I can look forward to it.
Oh, just wait. You'll know. It's a channel, and I thought for sure he was about to lose one of his heroes because he decided to channel instead of hit a heal, and it worked out.
Oh, and you know what I've noticed, right, with the Seer, endurance on the Seer. I don't know if that helps with getting hit and still being able to keep your channel. But how do you guys feel about being able to guard against having that channel disrupted?
Man, if you're using them in wars like this, I always try to time it around like headbutts or trying to get it before they can come around. If you can time it in between turns too, because that's kind of the frustrating thing with Seers is a lot of them are channel abilities, and if they get interrupted, it's just a total waste, right? So I feel like I've gotten pretty good at getting the timing down, but sometimes you got to like pass turns or do things to kind of set it up a little bit more,
Yeah.
Okay, so
go ahead.
right here, you get the wild charge, and things are getting a little dicey for that front
let's take
archer.
some out.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but just hold on to your seats here. This is when it gets interesting.
Yeah, Archer's about to get a boost.
Right.
Obviously, Sanctuary came up, so you had a little bit of a shield, and you get the extra heal there. Beautiful. Wow.
Is it lagging on your guys' end? A little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I'm watching. Hang on, I got to pull it up on YouTube. So let me watch there. Then I'm a couple seconds behind. Yeah, it's like double playing the animations a little bit.
Yeah, I might just give this a hot refresh, see what happens. It deserves it. It's a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to just the Seer being alive with very little health and managing to get the win for what it's worth.
Yeah, speaking of the win, Emerson says he's looking for some fried box. So let's see how this ends. Sticks intern. He does confirm that it was slightly glitchy, but we should be back now.
It was kind of doing that for me when I was watching earlier, but I thought maybe I just had too many tabs open.
Maybe something in the fight is giving a little overload. I don't know. It looks like we're good now from my end.
I wonder if it's just an issue because it's like this is a really long turn. I wonder if maybe they.
Yeah, it looks like
Maybe
we
they
are
just have
glitching it
issues.
out a little bit. I wonder if the longer fights do have that sort of issue. We'll have to let them know because most hunts replays don't do this.
Right.
I've noticed with Berserkers too, and I don't know if because most Berserker games are a little longer as well. But
Right.
sometimes. I don't
Well, the
know.
next one, if this one glitches out again, if we deem it unviewable, then the next one is actually a Berserker feature, and it's got some good trade stuff in there. So hopefully,
Yeah, we'll have
hopefully a little
to.
shorter.
Maybe I'll record that or something if I can get it to run right, and then we'll redo it. What's the next one you have?
Yeah, the
Which
next
one is
one's
yours,
mine. It's a level
actually?
17 with Berserk. I land a 400 crit Berserk. I perfectly time a speed boost with with an axe on a warrior to get right in the kill zone. So it was a nice little hunt that came together pretty perfectly. I was pretty proud of it.
Yeah, I honestly like the axe on the warriors, and because I've gotten a disdain for berserkers, most of the axes I have are on my warriors.
Right on. Look at this fitted priest in the back line here.
Bro,
Lime green pants, baby.
I got the pants on the priest, the speed pants.
I love it. The
That is
walking stick and the, what is that, a foraging raiment or something?
right, foraging with the stick.
Yeah, the priest is sick. I know Ren would love that blue hair and that Zerker.
Oh, dude, I used to have blue pants on the Zerker that matched the hair, and
Wow,
it was a dope fit. But
looks sick.
I had to take the pants off to put them on Better Hero.
Oh my, look at this blind rage.
Yeah, yeah. This is a solid berserker with the ninja subby. He's got pretty good stats. It's just uncommon. Both the front two are uncommon, and then the priest is rare. So
Okay.
Yeah, nice setup on the kill right before the wild charge,
yep,
and that kind of forces the berserker to then go for the next best available enemy.
right. And I see berserkers not a very commonly used, and gets a lot of hate, but I kind of love them. It's kind of fun, and you'll see here in a moment. I hit like a 437, I think was the number crit hit that just was pretty vicious. Like that's
Yeah.
without even a charger's mask. Like that could be even higher.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? Again, I've gone with a love-hate relationship with the Zerk. They seem to take more damage than usual. Am I not building a certain stat right?
Man, I always do the damage ramp where like as you deal damage, it ramps to multiply your damage, not for that mushroom. And then I do the one that also when you go berserk, you get an extra 10% boost. And then I just try to make them go to berserk.
No, for sure. Like dishing out attacks, yes. Receiving damage, I haven't.
Oh, yeah.
They take a lot of damage.
You can't be on the front line typically.
Mm.
Sorry, I misunderstood you there. But yeah, dude, I found the same thing.
Yeah. Surprising.
Yeah, no, I've been giving a lot more love to the berserker.
Oof.
There it is. The
There it is.
432 crit, baby.
Yes.
From the berserk. What's crazy is he went berserk really, really early, and there's a nice hit from your warrior as well. I've been liking the berserker a lot more because that buff towards increasing their chance to hit the enemy. I think that's absolutely huge. Looks like I lost my guess momentarily. Let me pull him back. I don't know
Watching the stream, and for some reason we're not on the. You disappeared, and then I don't know what happened.
All right, I got you both back. I think we're still alive. Give me a mic check, chat. What's good, Dr. J? What's good, Sticks? Emerson as well. A few others in the chat. Much love, y'all. Much love. And there is our final highlight of the episode. Boys, speak a little bit. Let me know you guys are still here with me.
Yeah,
Yes,
you got
sir.
me.
All right, perfect. We
Mic
are live,
check.
confirmed, and ready to go. And it is time. We're gonna kick it off. Shift things over a little bit here. I think. Let me just make sure. Let me double check before we completely take the right turn. I think that's about all we wanted to cover in DeFi Kingdoms.
Yeah.
Double check.
Hey, they did drop a little bit more alpha about pets. There's going to be 8. You have it here on the deal. There's going to be 8 pet bonuses that are like actives, like give your heroes another move that they can do for free. And those are going to be exclusive to 3-star. So
Yeah.
there's another alpha drop that you didn't hear yet trade. So bring the two
Fantastic
first.
alpha drop. The only question I have, and that's a fantastic alpha drop. Okay? Because if you're dropping this 3-star in Al Saga here, and me and Frisky, we've gotten a little friendly banter here and there. But I'm waiting for the pet eggs to drop. I think minor value has been suppressed up until then. But to see that the pet bonuses are being put out already, it may be coming sooner than later. Very exciting. Hyped to hear that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. And pets are going to create another interesting dynamic that we're going to have to play with in PvP. Again, they also mentioned rarity isn't, a true factor. All rarity pets will be able to get any bonus. It really depends on the star. I thought that was interesting as well. Pets are here. They're coming. Will they drop right on? Who knows? Maybe we'll even have them next week. Maybe we'll get a taste test of that. I don't know. I think
It's
they're
not happening next week. Unless yellow pet eggs drop, that'd be an abomination.
Oh my god. All right, so and then one more thing, one more DeFi Kingdoms esports related topic. We do have the Jewelers Combat League coming to a screen near you soon. All three of us are going to be participating, fighting weekly against other DeFi Kingdoms PvPers. And that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be like a season-long NFL-type format. We'll be breaking it down on this show, I'm sure. But that's just about it for the DeFi 15 first DeFi Kingdom segment there of episode 3 here. So we're going to shift gears, like I mentioned, over to the NFL. We do have college football in action. Within the next 40 minutes or so, we're going to be kicking off week 1 regular season of the NFL. Boys, overall thoughts for the season. What are you most excited for? Do you think your team's got a shot? You know, give me it all. What are we feeling here?
Well, at first, I want to say we did a great job with that DeFi 15 for the first time. I mean, we were at the 20-minute mark, but hey, I think we crushed it right there.
I like
all
that.
things considered. We tried to keep it pretty concise, but no, man, I'm pumped for NFL season. If anyone has caught any of the NFL content that we put out and that I've talked about, you can tell that I like football. I like fantasy football, and I'm ready to go. Again, I am a Dolphins fan, and we shape up to be pretty good this year, but my whole life they've been bad, so I'm trying to like keep my expectations in check. And then college-wise, my team is University of Oklahoma. They rolled in their first game, so I'm very excited about that first year in the SEC. They looked good, so I'm overall excited. And Trade, I'll kick it over to you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, super excited as well. Love the NFL. It's the sport that I've played. Pop Warner. It's given me all my major injuries ever.
Same. Couple
but still,
concussions.
yeah, a couple. But still thoroughly enjoy it. It's America's sport. You know, it's America. All right. So it couldn't start it off better with the Ravens and Kansas City. We're gonna get into fantasy. I've had the Ravens quarterback, and I stacked the Ravens players a lot. So very exciting to see. But love the young talent that's here, and love that one of our fantasy pools is in Jewel. And we've seen a great propensity for Jewel to run in a positive fashion during the football season. So everything is coming together, and I absolutely love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, indeed. And we're going to kick it off, Trade, with just what you mentioned here. The Jewelers Fantasy League, week 1, baby. I'm kicking it off, like SI said in the chat here, against SI. We'll go through all the matches here.
Yeah.
I can get
there it is. I asked SI earlier. I told him to kick your ass, so I'm sorry. I take that back.
You want to start me off with the loss. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. So down here we do have the 10 contestants competing for a big pot of over 4,000 Jewel, which is currently what, like $500 at least, I think. At today's prices. We'll see where that goes, up, down, sideways, I don't know. But last season in the Jewelers Fantasy League, the pot tripled nearly. It was insane. And we're kicking it off this year with myself, Mega, SI swimsuits in the building, baby. I got he's in the chat, you know, talking shit, but I got a slight advantage, but we'll see what happens. Anything can happen any week. We were talking about it before the draft. It's all luck, baby. It's all fun. It gives you another incentive to watch the game. We have Ferg, Moksha Maulers, Justice Beaver. I think you know who that is. Mr. Beeve himself. Uncle Rico. That one always gets me, but it is Mosh. I'm remembering more often now. It is Mosh. Right. Trade Room himself. No nicknames needed, bro. Legend is legend. Grady's glutes are activated. Guys Grand Team. The GG's going off in this one. That's Guy Kid from ADFK, of course. Sir Worm, his Warriors are ready to roll against. I guess they got a bye week.
Yeah, they're on bye, bro. They're on bye. So
he can sit everybody. He can put him on this bench, and we should be good. But T-Heat's actually down in the score. We talked about this in our group chat, shit talking a lot. We'll start here, T. You're down in score. Actually, both of you are. So I guess the question goes to both of you. How are we feeling? Is the AI just bullshit?
Not even worried about it. Look, here's the deal. The joke that me and like my buddies in like my main league that we've been going for, I don't know, 12, 13 years at this point, is that it's calculated randomness is what we call it, because they're just making stuff up and they're trying to say like, here's your projection, but it's all just, bullshit. So those numbers don't matter. We're not looking at that. Our team, we met earlier, had a nice little team huddle, and we're ready to go. And we like the synergy we got going on within the team. And there's a lot of guys, a lot of talent on bye week. So we're named bye week just to get in our opponent's head. They see that, they think that they can take it easy. They see this projection, they think they can take it easy. Now we're coming for them. Don't worry.
I love it, bro. I love it. We're gonna get into squads here in a second, but trade. Same question to you, bro. The projections are down. You're facing off against Mosh Pit himself from the Mythic squad. We need a few dubs around here. We got myself going against the Mythic squad, you going against the Mythic squad, T-Heat's going against some ADFK folk. What are we doing here, bro? I mean,
whether it's crypto gaming or NFL, Jules is always gonna rep, right? And when it comes to the gaming portion of things, I can't pucker my chest up too much because I'm still learning. But when it comes to the NFL, we here to talk some trash. So I love to see Heat's confidence. What I will say is the AI kind of matters, right? And so how I feel about it is, if I'm between 5 to 7%, okay, now I can work and know that I have a winning chance, because I'm the type that likes to pick upside. Why am I such a bull on Jewel? Yeah, I see the upside. I'd rather buy low, sell high, right? Why am I not caring about the fact that I may be 5% off? Is because I play the upside. Similar. I see that's kind of like his strategy as well. So the AI matters, right? If it's a 60 to 40 percentile, you have a hill to climb, right? But if it's within 5 to 7, okay, I know who the players I'm picking. I know their upside, and I'm not too worried about that. So, long way to answer that, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
Look, also it's week one. They don't really. I will say later in the season, the projections are quite a bit better. But week one, they don't know what they're doing, especially with young guys, which I've invested in a couple of young guys here. But the other thing is, you're right. The numbers do matter, but they really matter once you get a little bit into the game and it's that actual live projection. That's when it is actually like, okay, you can look at it and say like, oh, I'm going to win this week, or I'm not,
Yeah, I agree.
But to start the week, no one's played. We haven't even played a game yet. Like, I'm not looking at what they say on the power rankings as far as like, here's how many games you're going to win or total points you're going to score.
Yeah.
Or even this week, I'm not concerned about that right now. There's a lot of season in front of us. Even if I take a loss first week, it's fine. We're going to bounce back strong.
Right, yeah, for sure. It's all a feel, If people knew exactly where these players were going to score, first off, fantasy would be no fun. Drafting would be no fun because you'd have an order and you'd just know everything, The best part is that you could find value in these late rounds in the draft that we just did. You could catch an opponent off guard who has some of the best NFL players in the league. So Patty Mahomes might have a shit year. Who knows? And any
or just shit day. You just need one day.
One week could decide a whole year technically when you get down the stretch here, and that's the best part about the competition behind fantasy football. So a lot of fun here. I'm trying to look exactly who's got players. It looks like I don't. It's hard to kind of take a look. Let me see if this works better.
Oh, people going tonight.
Yeah, who's got people going today? You got anyone?
Well, Trey's got Lamar. Or did you miss him in this league?
It's in the other one, but I do have Zay Flowers, who I'm huge upside on him, and I have Travis Kelce, and that's the Jewelers Fantasy League. So I'm in it to win it tonight. I need 50 from both of them.
A cool 50 piece.
A cool 50. Looks like Ferg's got Patty Mahomes. Nobody else. Pacheco as well in this game. Again, trade. Looks like you got Zay. I don't know what this money sign in this league is here. It's some sort of promotion they're doing, but certain players just have
on the games.
You got Zay and Kelce as well. It's pretty cool.
You can bet everywhere these days. It's dangerous.
Big week for me.
Let's see what Grady's got. Looks like a few Friday night games. The Brazil game featuring Sir Worm's squad, the Eagles. I like to see that. Nobody in this game, and see the final one here. I don't know who's got Henry. Maybe I skipped it. Maybe they're not starting him.
Oh, you got to be starting him. He was an early pick.
I would assume so. You got to be starting him, but I
Right.
genuinely don't see him. Let me search it up here real quick. And then we'll shift topics. What else do we have on the show sheet here, T? Anything else we want to cover?
Oh man, well, generally just talking about looking forward to week one, maybe just this first game. It's a big matchup tonight with Chiefs versus Ravens. So, um,
Picks. Who we got?
yeah, right. And we didn't talk about this. I guess we can talk about it live, but we should pick this game every week and keep track of that as part of our competition that we're doing here.
Yes.
Right. Right. So there you go. Deal done.
Layers of competition.
And we'll just do that straight up pick. We're not picking against the spreads. Straight up pick. Just
Straight up
make it
pick.
easy. Yeah,
Money.
straight up
I
pick.
like it. I like it.
But man, tonight's a fun game. It's the first game of the season, so they're going to kick it off with a marquee matchup. And you got Ravens versus Chiefs. You got Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. And you got some teams that have battled in the playoffs and have some history. Both two of the top teams in the AFC. So exciting times. We get to see Derrick Henry, like you already pointed out, first game in the Ravens. I remember I was listening to a podcast and the guy that was, I can't remember who it was, but he was talking about being at Ravens camp and how seeing Derrick Henry lined up next to Lamar just looked badass. Like, because Henry's just like beast. I think he's wearing this like crazy helmet with a visor and everything. So like, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just what that combo looks like. And I feel like we're gonna have some fireworks. I think it's an offensive shootout. At least it has been in the past between these teams. So here's hoping.
Definitely see it. It looks like SI does have Derrick Henry, so he will be starting. I see him on the squad here. But
Okay,
T,
SI.
yes, sir. T, finish it up here. Who do you got tonight again?
Last year the Chiefs played the opening day game, I believe, against the Lions, and they lost. I think they're going to come out this year. They got the weapons. They got the new wide receivers. With Worthy, I guess Hollywood Brown's out. I'm going to take the Chiefs, man. It's tough, but I'm going to take Mahomes.
I like it. And overall for the week, you said you don't want to do spreads. The only reason I was doing spreads is because it always leaves it from a better standpoint.
We can do spreads for the later for the later rounds.
For the later segment. Okay.
Thursday, we always pick the Thursday night game. Just do it straight.
Yeah, we'll always do that for sure. And to give us a little extra incentive, we got 2 football games in the next 2 days before we kick it off to Trade to get his feels. What do you got tomorrow? Just give me a team. We don't got to break it down in full in depth unless you choose to. A little Philly action for Sir Worm. Who do you got?
Me?
Yeah, UT.
Man, I was actually not gonna pick the Eagles here.
Oh,
I don't know. There's some bad vibes I was feeling from I can't remember who, but one of the Eagles players was talking about how he hated being in Brazil.
Yeah, dude. I was hearing some crazy stuff about it. But this is going for both teams, So it's a fair fight, I'd say. Packers, Eagles.
True.
Eagles, you have to say Eagles have the better roster, I'd say.
Yeah, Packers are nice though. I think I'm gonna take the Packers on this one.
Okay.
That was
Packers from T, and let's kick it back to Trade here. We'll start with the Friday game and snake it around here to you. Friday game, Trade. You have any vibes yet? Is it too early? It's in Brazil. Crazy territory.
For week one, it's about who wants it more, right? Philly has the better team. The end of last year was horrendous. And that Philly push is now a joke instead of being a dominant force. So in terms of been there before, preparation, better team, I think Philly's probably going to beat them by a larger amount than what the spread is. So I'll take Philly on this one. And then when it comes to Thursday's game, again, the theme remains the same, especially in week one. Who wants it more?
Mm-hmm.
And if this was, game 14 to 16, yeah, I'll go with the Chiefs. But again, who wants it more? Who feels like they have more to prove? Who has to set a respectable stage for the rest of the season? It's the Ravens. So I'll take the Ravens in this one as well.
Okay, I like it. I like the vibes here. We'll give you the spreads here real quick before I give my thoughts. Philly -2 in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, against the Green Bay Packers. And then KC looking to cover -3 in KC against the Baltimore Ravens. Tonight, the vibes for me, all bias aside, I still feel as if the Chiefs somehow, some way, always seem to have the Ravens' number. Patty also loves to perform on prime time. Looks like we lost T. I'm going to bring him back here in the midst. And being that as the case here, I do think I'm leaning Chiefs here. Would I take this spread? Probably not. Probably not to be safe. But I do like the Chiefs on the money line tonight in the matchup. I'm hoping to see Henry, even though I'm facing him, I do have him in a few other of my leagues. I'm hoping to see Henry perform like the king he is, So he's a dog. And then moving into the Brazil game for me, I can't stop thinking the Eagles are just going to dominate, even though, the Green Bay Packers are up and coming with Love and their young wide receiver core. But I think I'm kind of leaning towards with trade here. It's a prove it to me game. I want to see it from the Packers on that big stage. Both teams got this disadvantage that you got to fly over all the way across to another hemisphere. So interesting stuff. Dewey War in the chat, much love, brother, says Baltimore tonight.
He's on the same page as me.
He's on the same page. I respect it. And, we also want to real quick say, unless anybody else in the audience has any picks, we're kind of doing a little segment here later, you'll see. And we need one pick from the audience collectively. So right now we got one vote towards Baltimore money line throughout the week. Any game throughout the weekend, if you have a big lock that you're feeling, let us know. Throw it in the chat. We'll go through all the games real quick. Or after I get your guys' final thoughts on these first two games of the NFL season. If any of you guys have any more further thoughts.
I chose my winners. There's not much more to say. I do have Lamar on one of my fantasy teams. I do have Zay Flowers, so I'm excited to see them succeed, honestly. Everything is leaned towards one way for me tonight.
Let's go.
Look, I got 9 fantasy teams this year, so I got some action on every game.
That's crazy.
So I don't even know who I'm gonna be yelling at. It doesn't matter. I'm just gonna watch the game and then the next day, check how the chips fall. But I'm excited to get it going. Also, it just started thundering out here, so I might get crazy. I might be in the middle of a thunderstorm. So, anyways,
okay. We might lose T, and if we do, we'll close it out for you. But real quick, before we jump into the new segment, let's go through all the games this weekend. And the lines. Digital sleep aid, 10 times your viewership by lines on games is respectable.
Play the analytics.
I love it. So here we go. Ravens versus Chiefs. A -3 to the Chiefs at home. Already said that and our feelings on that one. Packers, Eagles, -2. I won't give my opinion on all these either because it will just go on and on and on. And I want to get your guys'
we got a game
opinions
coming up here.
So we'll start at the 1 o'clock slate. This one, of course, must be favorited on my account here. The Browns going up against the Cowboys at 425. But the 1 o'clock slate here, and in the Browns game, the Browns are favored by 2.5. Next up, first kickoff here with the Steelers and Falcons. That'll be Atlanta -3.5 in Atlanta. Another quick side note also, I think this is really interesting. Tom Brady will be kicking off his announcing debut this weekend for the Browns game, I believe, for Fox. So they kicked Olsen out to the curb. It's going to be Brady in the booth. Interesting to see how the GOAT does in the booth talking some games. So
I'm already annoyed.
Honestly, same, bro. There's so many games I have to mute the damn TV because it's just they're always talking shit on the Browns. At least
Digital Sleep Aid's gonna love that though. He's gonna tune in for that specifically.
Oh yeah, Digital Sleep Aid adds a vote here. Pats for the win is a lock against Baltimore.
Pick.
No chase. We could get into it here in a second when we come across the game. We'll talk about it. Next game up on the slate: Buffalo at home against Arizona Cardinals -6.5. Also, if you guys have anything to say on any of these games, just jump in.
No, just tear through them, and then we can maybe get into our games with the picks that we like.
Oh yeah, perfect. We're making good time. Perfect. Titans at Bears, Chicago -3.5. Patriots at Bengals, and digital sleep aids saying Patriots on the money line. That'd be a nice little check from a betting perspective. Not financial advice. Make your own damn pick.
Eight and a
I'm
half
not. I'm
on the
not
spread. So
provoking
read into
gambling.
that what you will.
Yes, read it.
Well, I think that's the biggest spread on the week.
Yeah, I mean, and I kept eyeing it, bro. At a -8.5, it's so tempting, but it worries you. Like, okay, is Cincy really that solid even without Chase, or is New England really that damn bad, bro? Like, what is it? And then okay, so we're rolling into the next game here. Texans, Colts at home. Houston -3 on the road. Interesting stuff. Next game featuring T's boys at home. The Miami Dolphins against the Florida mate, the Jaguars. -3.5. Anything you wanna say on your game here?
No, man. Dolphins are locked in, ready to roll. And
This is a 1-0. This is a 1-0 lock.
Yeah. I mean, it's not my team that I'm gonna pick on the lock later, but that's a lock. Lock that
I
in.
respect it. Yeah. Next up here, still on the damn 1 o'clock slate. So much football for you guys to catch. Carolina Panthers versus New Orleans Saints. Saints got -4 at home. Next up, Minnesota Vikings at the Giants. Minnesota's got a -1.5. I thought for the people's opinions on the Giants, like just from a neutral standpoint, I thought this was, rather close. And I'm like, okay, the Giants about to pull something off. Trade, what are you feeling about this game?
It's a winnable game. Go win it.
Yeah, I respect that. A lot of changes to the
is.
Giants, bro. I'm ready to see them.
And in reference to the Dolphins-Jaguars game, I have a triple stack with the Jaguars between ETN and a couple of the guys. So I'm actually hoping they're down.
He's trying to see. He's trying to see himself for this.
So don't mind that.
I like it. Again, that little edge that's boosted from fantasy and having a league with some money on the line.
On this Giants-Vikings game, if I was looking at it thinking if I wanted to pick an underdog against the spread, I'd pick the Giants.
Okay. We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see that game. 1 o'clock again for that one. Moving into the 4 o'clock slate, we have the Raiders-Chargers, -3 to the Chargers. That one is, again, I think we all kind of agreed on this. Two teams that they got to show us. We'll see what happens. Broncos, Seahawks next up in Seattle. Seattle's -6. We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Oh, Knicks.
Yes, sir. That's going to be a lot of fun. Commanders, Buccaneers. Tampa Bay -3.5. Commanders supposed to suck. We'll see what happens. Rams, Lions. Detroit -4.5 at home. And finishing it out on Monday night, we have New York Jets at 49ers. Will Christian McCaffrey dominate like the #1 fantasy pick he was chosen to be, or will I flop with that pick? We'll have to see. San Fran -4.5. Let's get into our final segment here of fried chicken and pigskins. We have, excuse me, if I can find it. We have a new segment that we're rolling through in regards to our final picks. We're going to be keeping track each and every week. One pick has to be the spread. And we also got some other fun props and stuff like that to roll with. But while I got this set up, boys, while I'm getting this finalized here on the side, any of these games stick out to you before you give us your final pick? Are there any games you're really worried that you wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole in regards to it being a good matchup?
Some of the games are fun. I mean, like looking right at the Rams-Lions game right there. I mean, Lions are 4.5-point favorites, which I mean, power and they're young, up-and-coming team. So, that one I would probably stay away from. Week 1's tough because obviously we've seen some stuff in the preseason, but you typically don't see the starters, and it's a little hard to predict. So there's a couple teams that's one that jumps off out at me. Is like, I'm not sure what I'd do with that. Don't really want to be a part of it. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Trade, anything from you, brother?
Yeah, no, that's a good pick. A lot of variables to be looking at in that one. the Texans Colts one is the most intriguing one to me.
Hmm.
A surging quarterbacks for their respective teams. And a lot of people picked up these quarterbacks, so it's going to be the determination, right? The first glance determination at if your fantasy season is going to be good or not. And similar to how the WNBA is popping off with these rookies, they're not rookies; they're in their second year. But if you're matching the next generation of quarterbacks, between Green Bay and some of these other first or second year quarterbacks, the dynamic between Colts and Texans is going to be one that's maybe here for a decade if they pan out to be the kind of quarterbacks they're going to be. Stephon Diggs, a new addition to the Texans, and then the Colts, right? Some rapport now with the receivers.
Hmm.
Defense also getting pretty good as well. So I'm excited to see that one for sure.
Right. Another one, man, is actually maybe your Browns and that Cowboys. That shapes up to be a
I
pretty
saw that
solid
one.
matchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It's hard to pick, I don't
I
know,
don't want
man.
to touch
Maybe,
that game at all,
yeah,
other than from a prop standpoint. I'm not kicking off my week with a L monetarily and in the
emotionally.
season. Yeah, and
Yeah,
emotionally. So it just can't happen that way, unfortunately. But I'll
no
pick a
doubt.
few touchdown props, a few props from the other standpoint. But let's see if this works. Lock it in, baby. New segment.
Gee.
Yeah, I know. I did see that, Roman. That was great. I don't know why it's not playing. Is what it is, though. But we're gonna roll straight into it just the
Kick.
props here. We'll do the props
Oh,
first and
props.
finish
Oh,
with
okay.
the final lock it in picks for the
Okay.
season.
Yeah, I can do my prop first. I'm going with the prop bet of Justin Jefferson. The over on receiving yards. The consensus line is at 81.5 yards. And I was looking at some resources, and it was saying he's hit this 7 of the last 10 games. He's the number one receiver talent wise, arguably in the NFL, and by far the best playmaker. They're going to get him the ball. It's against the Giants for trade, so not the best defense out there. I think you can get open. Sam Darnold, he's not the greatest quarterback, but he can throw a nice ball, and hopefully he just is locked into Justin Jefferson, and he can easily eclipse this amount. So I'm taking the over 81.5 yards on Justin Jefferson.
I like it. I like it. Trey, do you want to give a little bit of what's in the bag over there? What are you feeling this weekend?
Yeah, it's a pretty neat pick. Justin Jefferson during the previous season would do that pretty frequently at a high clip. So if he's coming back healthy, that's solid. I have Alvin Kamara uh, over 4.5 receptions, sitting at a plus 102. It's just one of those that watching last season, he hit those at a pretty high clip. And when it comes to the pressure that they're going to be receiving,
Hmm.
it's a pretty easy dump spot. So a lot of times you see in the first half, you'd already have 3 or 4, and those ended up being locks at least half of the games in the season. So if this is going to be a decently close one in this week's match, then that's a good plus odds pick for me there.
I like it. I like it a lot. My only prop so far, I didn't really get a chance to evaluate the whole Sunday slate yet, to be honest, with the busy work week here. But my main pick here for it, actually coming from the game tonight, I'm going Patty Mahomes over 1 interception. It's looking like minus 155 is what I saw it at, but it was moving down closer to plus money as the time went on. I think I saw the first line in the morning, and it was closer to like 125 by more recently when I looked at it last.
Is that over
So
0.5?
what's that?
Is that over 0.5?
Yeah, over point
Okay.
5. Excuse me.
Okay.
So that'll be good. I'm putting it together on the side just to see what this lay would net you here. Is there anything else you guys have besides your main pick of the night? Main pick of the week, I should say. Any other props? Anything else? Here, I see a few that you guys have on the board.
I had two teams. So yeah, I give my other like if we're saving one is the more confident lock. This one
Yeah.
is the less confident, right?
Yeah, lock in one for the lock it in, and you can give the other one now if you'd like.
Yeah. So I'll save my lock it in one, but my non-lock it in one. I like actually the Seahawks. It's a little bit of a big spread, but they're -6 against the Broncos. Broncos, like we already kind of mentioned, starting Bo Nix. He's a rookie quarterback. They're on the road. There's just a lot of things that could go wrong for them, and I like the Seahawks to cover that spread because they're just a more veteran team. And week one, I'm leaning more towards vets.
Okay, I like it. I like it. The Seahawks pick the Broncos. Beav and Mosh, I'm sure, would be excited to hear you say that much. Trade, you got some interesting stuff I'm seeing here in the notes.
Yeah, I mean,
Whipped up. What's going on?
me and he are indifferent on the Eagles versus Packers one, but I have that down. And I have Stroud over 200 yards, which is pretty trash odds for that. But I do like the Bengals versus the Patriots. Sorry, digital sleep aid. At least just straight up money line. Again, it's all about you know who has something to prove, who wants it more during week one for me. And the Bengals, want to go ahead and get the season started, want to try to protect their quarterback, and want to play it the right way to get the first win of the season. So that Bengals money line is definitely calling my name.
Yes, sir. And big shout out to Mario of 50-50. He says, he's happy to see Sao Paulo have some NFL football tomorrow. I believe he's reigning from Brazil, so because he says here in Sao Paulo, so that's amazing.
Oh, that's fire!
Stuff. That's amazing stuff.
Amazing.
I'm loving that international series. Quick topic to interlude before I give the odds of our little lay here that I whipped up between a few of our legs. What's the feeling? Do you think eventually we'll see maybe a team in like Mexico, an official NFL team in England, Canada?
Look,
is it possible? Another
I'll talk about this a little bit actually because I've written on this topic some for some college classes that I took, and it makes a lot of sense. Mexico City is an expansion point for really all the major North American sports. I mean, you already see NBA's playing some games in Mexico City every year. They even have a G League team now in Mexico City. So it's just a huge market that's completely untapped. So there are some concerns. We don't need to get into all the details because, like I said, I've written some papers on this, so I got it in depth. But I think that at some point it will be so lucrative that they just really can't pass up that opportunity, right? So
most definitely, and the NFL is always looking to get that extra buck, that bottom line, get that extra.
It's all about how many people can tune into screens and watch it and sell advertising, and when you open it up to a brand new country that's really not watching too much NFL right now, all of a sudden it becomes a major part. Just a ton of people, a ton of new eyes, tons of money. So it'll happen.
Most definitely. Trade thoughts, brother?
Yeah, I think that we've seen this slow rollout of these international games, and I'm having a couple of Jaguars players. I really stay tuned with some of the overseas games, and it's important in the expansion of the game. And I definitely see us having some teams overseas, especially as the sport continues to build over. Where that happens, I'm not too sure.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love it, honestly.
Most definitely. I'm fully on board there. I could see it. You kind of mentioned, I don't know if this is specifically what you're saying, T, but logistics, it could get kind of crazy. But that's fun stuff to think about and prosper over in the near future, because football might not be the global sport that the other football is, soccer, but football's expanding, and it's a lot of fun. It's hard hitting. It's good entertainment. So We love our American football most definitely. So this is the lay I whipped together here with our first prop of each of ours. We have, of course, Alvin Kamara over 4.5 receptions at plus money, 120. Justin Jefferson going over 80 receiving yards. T, I had to buy it down a little bit to find the leg, minus 140. And I got Patty at minus 115 now. The line's moving a lot, so maybe they're thinking he's not going to throw one anymore. I don't know, bros. I don't know, but that lay's getting you plus 600, a little 6x. And again, this is not financial advice. We're just doing this purely for entertainment, talking some NFL football, baby. So let's get in our quick lock it in rapid fire picks. I'm gonna be keeping track, boys. Who's coming out with a W? We'll have something fun. We'll talk in the behind the scenes and have something fun for the winner if we want to play that route. But I'll kick it off with my pick of the week here. It's going to be Colts plus 3 in. They're at home against the Texans. I'm looking to have a big season from A-Rich. I got him in a few leagues. Does that bias me towards this pick for the first week? Do I dig myself a hole? I don't know, bros. But
That's a bold pick.
It's a bold pick. That's my lock for the week. Trade. What are you feeling, brother?
Yeah, I had a pick lined up already, but I actually really like the Bills game. And that one,
It's looking like minus 6.5. Is that okay with you?
that's perfectly fine.
On the spread, minus
was my pick.
6.5. Trade is locking it in. They're going against Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. Arizona minus 6.5. Okay, trade's locked in.
You sniped me, bro. You sniped me.
Oh. Hey, I'm not opposed to you guys taking the same one week 1 here.
No, it's okay. I can go a different route. I mean, I could just go back to the Seahawks. I said, I guess technically against the Broncos, but there's a couple others I was looking at too. Digital Sleep Aid's not going to love hearing this one. I was thinking about taking Cincinnati, but that spread was kind of large. I was seeing it at 8 against the Patriots, but fading the Patriots is pretty good idea. Let me see. I don't want to do the same, man. That's not fun.
Yeah, switch it up. I respect it. You did have the Seahawks, so if you want to pick that and move that towards your primary pick, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, let's go Seahawks.
They really got him at a minus 6 against the Broncos. That's pretty interesting.
Right. It's kind of a big spread, but you get a couple points for being at home. So, I just need a touchdown there. And lock it in.
Lock it in for T Heat. So we have recap. Myself going with the Colts plus 3 at home in the Dome against the Texans. Trade room going with the Buffalo Bills minus 6.5 against Arizona, and T Heat finishing out here with the Seahawks minus 6 at home in Seattle. So one last thing before we close it out, boys. Much love for this show. It's been a pleasure. Another episode of Fried Chicken and Pigskins in the books. I just wanted to put this together for trade because this is the little 4-leg lay he had set, including that Alvin Kamara over 4.5 receptions. He also put together CJ Stroud over 200. I love that line. It is, they're actually giving it minus 1,000, so of course I'm going to love it. I didn't notice that, but it'd be tough. You might have to buy that one up, but we're still getting plus 441 on this lay, including Eagles money line and Bengals money line. A little 4-legger for you folks for the football weekend. Fall's kicking off, boys and girls. Fried Chicken and Pigskins is here to stay. We hope you liked the segments. If you did, let us know. If you didn't, let us know as well. Of course, with the DeFi 15, lock it in. You'll see. There's a video for that one. You just didn't see it yet.
Lock it in.
But any final words? Trade T.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Tonight's game is gonna be fun. Gonna be pouring up a drink after this and going into work a little bit hungover maybe, but I'm excited.
Nice.
That first Friday after TNF, bro, it hits different. But hey, we got to do what we got to do in the wage land. So, T, final words, brother.
Man, I'm just ready to get in this game. I'm excited. We got everything happening right now. We got traits live.
Whew.
That has been amazing. Love that. We got PvP right around the corner for the masses, and we got NFL football. So it's all here. It's all happening, and I'm ready, man. I'm pumped.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it looks like, actually, I did forget one thing. Within that spread game that we're choosing, we wanted to include the fans, the audience here.
Oh, yes, sir.
So we have Eagles over. Eagles win the point, says Worm. We had Baltimore earlier from Dewey War, and we also had the Pats money line. How should we chop it up? Should we say if SI's in the chat within the next minute or 30 seconds, he can get the final say between Eagles, Patriots, or Ravens? If not, it's going to go to Dewey War, taking the Ravens on the spread for the fans, for the audience here on a 1-1 tie because he was first. We'll give it about 20 seconds. And SI's here. SI, choose one, brother, before we close this bad boy out.
Your
This is the
almighty
tie.
NFL wisdom, SI. Reach down deep and pick one, and don't pick the Patriots.
If you pick, you will. Don't pick the Patriots unless you want the audience to start 0-1. You have the options between the Patriots, the Ravens tonight on the spread. Patriots are on the spread at a +8.5, by the way, if we're going spreads. Ravens tonight at +3. And the last one was, what were we just saying? Eagles over the Packers.
Mhm.
If you choose a different one, SI, which you're welcome to do, he's going Ravens. But if he was to choose another one, we still would have went with the Ravens because Dewey went first and would have been a tie. So audience, the fans, they choose the
Lock it
Baltimore Ravens. Lock
Ravens.
that shit in. Lock it in, baby. All our
There's
picks
Worm.
are in.
We're Ravens. Yes, sir. Worm, you're going down, by the way.
Worm switches big. Worm's going down. SI, you're going down. I hope. I hope. Don't start me 0-1. My name's Mega. 4T, 4 Trade. This has been another episode of Fried Chicken and Pigskins.